Excuse me, sinus infection. Hey guys, as a transplant recipient, I hear all of these stories from different people about how they have adopted these new abilities, like people who are not. I have a friend who had a kidney pancreas transplant, and it was from a girl who was actually, she was brilliant and she was really great in math and really great in science, and he's telling me, before the transplant I never had any abilities in he was not very good in those things. After the transplant, all of a sudden he has these newfound abilities to do things that he never could do before the transplant, which is amazing to me. I saw something on a program done on I'll link to it, but it was interesting how this man had received a heart and all of a sudden had this newfound desire to play the drums to help him relax. Turns out the guy that had donated the heart was he used to play the drums to relax. So it's kind of amazing. Cellular memory. So here's my thing. I'm now 7.5 years post-transplant. So my mom donated her kidney to me on May 9th of 2010. I had that stroke in 2009 in June, July, that kind of reduced me back to a toddler, and I couldn't talk clearly, I couldn't walk, I couldn't live my life. So I was basically starting over from a 30-year-old. The amount of learning I did from July, August 2009 to May of 2010 was leaps and bounds. When I had the transplant, I was super excited because one of the things that happen when your kidneys start failing is that your hemoglobin, or the oxygen that makes it through your body, is greatly decreased. And unfortunately, that means my brain trying to create new neurons and remember new things, it was stifled. So my recovery continued through my 30s with my mom's kidney. So my ability to learn over again was an interesting process. I appreciate the learning process, and I appreciate learning things thoroughly. One of the things that I have realized in the last 7.5 years for me is that I actually have to almost go over 3 times to thoroughly learn what I'm trying to do. This is not to say that my mom's appreciation or ability to learn things is impaired, but comparatively to who I was previous to the transplant and who I am now, it's almost as though I need to pay closer attention so I can really absorb what I'm doing. And it's an interesting process to me, but more than anything, it's definitely magical. Here's a question for transplant people out there. Have you noticed any kind of a change in your learning process since you've had the transplant? And I'd love to hear about it. Tweet me at Allie's Voice, subscribe here on YouTube, or subscribe at alliesvoice.com. And I'll see you next time, guys.